Russia. Why is Stocky talking about Russia right now? All right. You've seen all my YouTube videos. You've heard my rants. We've talked about Russia and all this. What was the big development overnight? Okay? And how did Russia pull a little reverse Uno? Russia has sanctions against them. And I'm talking sanctions all around. There is sanctions. There's different levels of sanctions. But when during peacetime, all the rich people who run the world get together and say, hey, and they're all from different countries, and they say, hey, listen, if we get into a war, we get into a fight, we get into that, and there's sanctions, okay, we pay to put politicians in office. Let's make sure that the regular people get screwed, but not us, okay? If there's sanctions and import exports and embargoes and tariffs, fine. Just not on caviar, Lambos, diamonds, and jets. Or yachts, whatever. I didn't know about this specific little hidden nugget until the UN and the US made the quote-unquote unprecedented move to actually go after the one thing no one's ever gone after during sanctions in history. Luxury sanctions. That's why it's the first time ever you're hearing about yachts getting yoinked. So, sanctions have been going on, and it has been crippling the there. Their currency has dropped to being valued less than a Robux dollar. There's been run on banks. 400 US corporations have pulled out. Nothing is going in. The people are hurting. So you might be saying to yourself, but Stocky, then why is Russia able to continue to do this? Because the government's making more money now than they were before the sanctions. How, Stocky? How? We've talked about it before. Oil. Oil and natural gas is flowing from Russia to the EU. And that's why the EU hasn't done shit. Now, I'm giving you a little backlog here. Germany didn't say anything for a long time. The rest of the EU didn't say anything because they need the energy. They decided, hey, we are going to go full green energy and be progressive and take on the world. We're going to shut down our old energy. We're going to shut down our coal plants. We're going to shut down our nuclear. We're going to shut it all down. We're going to go green. Because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Not wrong movie. No one expects a major superpower to invade a friendly country, right? Nobody expects that. So there wasn't a reason to think that this would ever be a problem. Well, all of a sudden it is a problem, and the EU is already in an energy crisis, and they need the oil. So they talk tough all around it and continue to take the oil. And what happens? Investors get worried about continued global, first of all, coronavirus ending and people traveling again, global uncertainty, pipeline attacks, streamline getting shut off, oil price goes up. And Russia is making more and more and more money because they can't stop taking oil. They can't stop taking oil. They have to have it to power everything. So Russia's just making more money than they were before. Of course, we know Saudi Arabia could be the way, because the rest of the world is trying to get this off, but they can't do it without an agreement. Norway doesn't have the infrastructure in place. Saudi Arabia has it, but they're not going to do anything. They're going to stay neutral. They'll be like, no, we're good. We're going to stay back. Because if we stay back and stay neutral, we don't piss anybody off, but oil price keeps going up and we make a shitload of money. Because if we flood it into the EU, it's going to drop the price of oil and we're not going to make as much money. Fuck you guys. Now, the point is that Russia Today said, not Russia Today, the news source, but today, Russia said, all right, bitches, you know how you've dropped our ruble down to nothing? If you want to buy our oil, you have to buy it in rubles. What does that mean? That means that if you are a government and you want to purchase oil, if you're a government or you're an entity, and you want to purchase oil and you have to do it in rubles, what do you have to have as a reserve in your central bank and in your banks? Rubles. How do you get rubles? You have to buy them. What happens when you buy it? The value goes up. It's some five-head shit. Now, I haven't confirmed it, but somebody in chat did say that Russia has said that they are now going to be accepting gold and crypto, or Bitcoin, I guess. I haven't confirmed that, so I don't want to put it out there. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but Stocky, that's against the OPEC rules. That's against all of the treaties and trade agreements. Yeah, but it's also war. I mean, they're out there fucking bombing schoolhouses. You think they give a shit about that? So you might be saying to yourself, well, Stocky, thanks, buddy. That means the economy's coming back. I'm gonna buy Russian stuff dirt cheap. One little other thing moving off from this right now. Sure, this might impact the price of oil, and if oil starts dipping or starts going up, that's different. But there's one other little thing that came out this morning, and I know you guys were in the call this morning and already heard me talk about it, but I want to give it to some of the plebs that wake up late, okay? The Russian stock market has reopened. You may be thinking to yourself, oh, really, Stocky? Let me check that out. Holy shit, the market's going back up. It's dirt cheap. I better buy now because this is the Russian market, right? And there's a 1,000% gap to fill. I could buy 5-year out leaps 200% out of the money, and I'm going to be rich. Well, number one, you need it to gap up. And number two, understand something before you read this headline and jump in. Remember, always read past the headlines. It's a limited opening. Only 33 companies. Oh, by the way, you can't sell stocks or short them. You can buy, but you can't sell. You can't short. So these 33 companies, which are probably the only 33 people that are still loyal to, own the companies that are loyal to Putin, are going up because everybody wants to get in. Because their idea is I'm going to get in now. Then when they open up the market to everybody, I'm going to be rich. If by the time they reopen this and Russia is still on the ground and we're already learning that they're getting embarrassed by everything, they've lost between 5,000 and 10,000 troops already to dead and probably 30,000 wounded. Calls are being intercepted that they're starving, they're freezing to death, they have no ammo, the morale is low, they're getting beat up by kids in the street, they've been left all alone, they don't know what's going on. You think the market's just going to open up and everyone's going to flood into Russia right off the bat? No. All the idiots buying right now are going to get fucking dunked on. Honestly, surprised you believe that the propaganda that Russia is losing. So I don't believe everything I see on the news, in the media, okay? As somebody who went through and lived through, several false flag attacks, went into war, went into stuff like that, was fed all the bullshit stuff. I know a lot of propaganda and lies are coming out, but what you're not understanding is in today's world, war is not won or lost by the amount of people killed or wounded. Starting when television became a thing, wars are won and lost by public opinion and the media. Do you know that we were killing in Vietnam, right? We were wiping out 10-1, but it didn't matter. The longer it drug on, the more public opinion switched, and the Vietnamese won the war. We shouldn't have been there, but that's not the point here. They won the war because public opinion turned, and eventually the United States pulled out. You don't win and lose wars nowadays by just bombing and killing. It doesn't work that way. The idea is to win the war of the people around the world. Because if enough outcry comes, politicians will act. Politicians care about re-election. Re-election is votes. If enough people of their constituents they feel like have changed an opinion, they will then, in turn, change their opinion. Okay? Regardless of what is actually happening there, the world. Let's play a game for a second. Let's tinfoil hat. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say Ukraine is actually basically Cuba. Ukraine to Russia is Cuba to the United States in the 1960s, like the missile crisis. United States and everybody has set up a bunch of missiles here. They've got chemical warfare factories. Okay, they are they're setting up satellites they're launching here that are going to spy and drop bombs on Russia, and Russia is actually the victim here. And they're going into Ukraine to stop this. And they're telling the world, guys, they're really trying to kill us. They're truly trying to destroy us like that. Why don't you believe us? We're just trying to protect ourselves. Guess what? That's not how wars are won or lost anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest with you. The world believes one narrative right now. And that's what it is. That's just how it works now. This is not about my opinion. This is how wars are won. It's just how it is. All right. Will I invest in the Russian market? Abso-fucking-lutely, but not right away, because I'm going to wait for this to happen. I'm not buying until we get back to that gap. Now, most of you guys can't buy anything right now anyways. I'm talking about when they open it up again. I'm not going to buy that first dip because I don't know how much good it's going. When that market opens up, I mean, who knows? Maybe the market opens up and everybody's happy and the world and everything goes back up. Maybe. But this isn't my long-term plan. This wasn't something I expected to happen. I'm going to wait for it to open up, see if there's a potential drop, still not buy that, and not buy until it gets to the level it's at now. That's when I'll buy.